My name is Katz, and I'm the co-founder of Mentors in Violence Prevention. What type of I do work in a whole bunch of different areas, but the main focus of my work is getting men to start, standing up and speaking out about men's violence against women, as well as men's violence against other men, but in a real gender-specific way, which is instead of just talking about violence generally, my work is geared towards talking about men's violence and working with men to challenge men to interrupt other men and to help to create a culture where masculinity and violence are not so synonymous, so that when men act violently, they're not somehow fulfilling the idea that they're being a man, but they have problems, they're doing something wrong, rather than they're embracing a kind of manhood, because I think we can do a lot better. Well, because I want my life to be meaningful, and I think this is very directly related to a lot of the unnecessary tragedy and suffering in the world, and I'm doing my part, I think, and I think if more men were to say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I can to end or to reduce or to men's violence, or to challenge other men, or to help change systems that produce abusive men. If a lot more men took that approach, we'd have a lot less violence and a lot less unnecessary suffering, and suffering on the part of women, on the part of men, and certainly on the part of children. And I'm a father. I mean, I'm a parent, and I was doing this work before I was a parent. So it's not because I'm a parent, but I think adults have responsibility to children, and I know we do. And it's not right. The kids growing up in our society with all this violence done to them and around them, it's not right. And we're failing our children if we don't do whatever we can to reduce it and diminish it. Well, it's everything from the micro to the macro. I talk about leadership a lot, and leadership is defined broadly. You can be a leader in your own family. You can be a leader in your own workplace. You can be a leader in the community, in your faith community, in business, and labor unions, and school, and sports. I mean, there's so many different platforms of leadership. But so I'd say elders, men who have, in this case, men. It could be women, but men who have whatever platform they have of influence in their own family, in their own community. We need more men, taking the initiative and taking the step forward, not waiting to be asked, can you help out, but actually, knocking on the door of a women's center or a men's center or a program and saying, I'm a man in this community and I care about what's going on and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Can you give me some ideas? Can I support what you're doing already? Can I help build a new initiative? Can I get together with other men? I mean, part of the challenge here is that I think a lot of men are isolated and they're atomized in their own personal experience. They're not connected in a way, and a lot of men haven't even thought about these issues as issues that they can be connected to other men. They just think, I'm not going to be abusive to women, and therefore this isn't really my issue. And obviously my feeling is it is your issue, it is our issue, and we have to think more broadly than just our personal, whether we are perpetrators or not. It's more like, okay, are we community members? Are we family members? Are we responsible men in our community? And this obviously this cuts across all the different social categories. This is a problem in white, wealthy communities, and working class communities, and communities of color, and white communities, and I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, obviously it's a cultural and societal issue. It's a worldwide issue. And the wealthy world, like in the United States, we have a responsibility to the developing world. There's countries that have enormous problems of men's violence against women and children. They don't have the resources to deal with it. They don't have the political momentum or anything. And I think that's another role that we in the wealthy world need to play is thinking about these issues not just as local issues but as global issues, and how can we be be supportive in that way.